Wards Carver. Everybody has a Wards Carver. And I like to use the Wards Carver to carve the wax. And we probably only use this end, so we don't have to worry too much about it. What about the other end? We don't use it all hardly. So anyway, the next one is a half Hollenbeck. This is one of my favorite instruments. You don't have this in your kit, but you will have it when you get into direct fillings. That's amalgams and wherever you have to carve amalgams. And this is what I learned how to carve wax with, and this is how I've been using this half Hollenbeck forever. But I can also use the Wards Carver. This Wards Carver is a little bent, but it's okay. It still can be used. This is a Tanner carver that was originated from a dentist who worked at USC. And we don't want to talk too much about that because we don't want to talk about SC too much. This is a discoid cleoid. This helps to clear the occlusal anatomy. When we get into occlusal anatomy, we can make our use this for some of the occlusal anatomy. And I like to use a number 7 wax spatula because I can use the end of this to make grooves, and I can also use this end to make their marginal ridges the same height, and I will show you that as we go along. Okay, so today you're going to be doing a wax up. Oh, wait a minute, we have some more things to do here. I like to use a sable hair brush. One end is to use the powder that we're going to be using to check our way our wax comes together. And the other is I used to use it to clean off the wax because you're going to have chips of wax all over the place. Okay, so this is the powdered wax. I refer to this as my cocaine, but it's really not. It's steroid. It's a steroid. And then I also like to have a piece of nylon and to polish with. And then you need to have a screwdriver. Now, the secret with this screwdriver is you have to blunt the end. It's because most of your screwdrivers are very, very sharp. And when you go to screw and unscrew the teeth from the Tyvodon, this will make them strip your heads on the screws. So you have to blunt this instrument. And an instructor really will be able to show you how to do that. Okay, so be sure that this is blunt. And then when you unscrew it, we screw and unscrew the teeth. Don't screw them in real tight, because the tighter they are, the harder they are going to fall, and the harder to get out, and they'll also break the teeth. And you'll see that as you go along, okay? This the nylon wax, I think I said already, I use it for polishing the wax. All right, so we're going to use colored waxes. This has been with me for a number of years, so that is why it looks like it's all beat up. But we still have the colored waxes. We use colored waxes because we're using these waxes because they have to be, we like to use these so that we can determine or show you what parts of the teeth, all right, when we talk about the teeth. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the green wax for copings. The coping is when we fill in and we start the preparation, we start to wax up. We also do a coping. We use the green wax to do fillings when we're all done. The yellow is for cone tips. We'll be doing that next week, and then the red is for triangular ridges and line angles and so on posterior teeth. And the blue wax is for marginal ridges and for cusp ridges. Okay? So today we're going to be doing number 6, a facial filling, and we're going to do it on this tooth. And you have to look in there and you see there is a filling, there is a cavity preparation in there. Okay? Are you getting that? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So we're going to fill that in, and this is our lesson for today. We're going to show you how to do that. So here we go. So I like to put my wax on my right side because I'm right-handed. I like to put the heater, this is a magnet that holds this in place. I like to turn the waxer on to 78 degrees Celsius or centigrade. And I find that if you leave it on that temperature, you can get the wax to go where you want it, and it'll stay there. If you make it too hot, it'll run, and if you make it too cold, you'll never get anything done. So we start with a coping, so we're going to start with that. Notice that when I get through there, you see the little ball on the end of that?
Mm-hmm.
That little ball is what we use to start the coping. We always have a little ball on the end of our waxing tip. Okay, so we have enough in there now. You notice that I've gone over the top of the tooth? Well, you can either stop now and cut it off, or you can do it at the end and when we're done. So I'm going to stop and just get rid of that. Okay, now we have to use what we're going to call line angles. So line angles are in red. Notice my little ball? And line angles will be right over here. Now, a line angle is where two surfaces come together, and it's very hypothetical where it comes together, a buccal and a distal, or a buccal or a facial and a distal, and a facial and a mesial. Now they're together, okay? Now I think we have to do some fill in, so we're going to put the green in. And then we're going to look to see how, with one eye, you're going to look down at this thing and you're going to see, you getting this?
Mm-hmm.
See how that's round? We want to make it round so that it belongs in there. So right now I think we have a little bit too much wax in there, so I'm going to use a carver. Good old magnet. You guys use you go ahead and use the Ward's carver, and I'm going to do this with my Hollenbeck. Okay, you notice how we've got wax chips around, so I'm going to get rid of them. And you notice how this is kind of like overhanging here. It's kind of like we have flash there. We want that so that your margin is just really, really sharp. Notice I used the toothbrush that time. Okay, I think that we have to prior. There's a part right here that doesn't look right. Okay, so then when we're done with that, then we take our little piece of nylon and polish it. And that's all there is to it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
See how that is? See, like you want to look down the height of contour is right there, like it's supposed to be. Okay, and that's it. Now I'm going to show you another one because we're starting a little bit late, so we're going to start another one, and that'll be up. This is the one we're going to do today right now.